Alright, Jason, I think they can hear us now.
Hooray! Hey, chat, how are y'all doing today?
Hello, chat. It's been like a couple weeks.
A bit. It's been a bit. But we are here.
I entirely blame myself and not Jason. So.
I can blame myself. That's fine. I'll accept the alternative, but... So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be building some precons for Satoru the Infiltrator and Hinata Dawncrowned.
Alright.
And we figured some basic rules, right? Try to get some outlines of what precons are typically like for Commander. So, what are some of those characteristics? We got like 38 lands is kind of normal for these decks.
We have to include Myriad Landscape. It's very...
I see.
Very much
important.
required.
Hey, Wolfsbane. And then there's typically a few big ticket items on the reprints, things that get people hyped, but the rest of it's kind of like a cheap core centered around a singular theme. So for the first one we're going to be doing is going to be Satoru, so that's ninjas.
Ninjas. Like...
What else would we do, really? Truly, what would we do?
Let's just get the real commander in the deck here.
I mean, fair.
Yep. See, Wolfsbane even agrees.
Alright, can you do me a huge favor? Can you get 37 wastes in the deck?
Actually, Jason, we have the ultimate precon mana base tool.
That's true. How does that look overall? Yeah.
Yeah, like this.
I mean, I definitely accept that as a basis.
And then you just tune basics from there, basic count from there. Like.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? I would love to do a few other, like, ETB tap lands or something like that. Like, do we have gain lands in here, for example? I don't think we do.
No.
Cool. I don't remember what the name of the blue-black one is, but I was looking at the Stella Leaf Recon, and I was like, dear lord, you put 27 basics in this deck!
To be fair, the deck actually needs untapped mana sources, so...
True. Our plan is to draw a bunch of cards, so let's get a Reliquary Tower in there, actually. Ye old $1 reprint, let's go.
Oh, it's not even that anymore. Oh, that is not.
Roadside Reliquary, close enough.
It's almost there. There we go.
Do you run the other Satoru? Maybe.
Maybe. That's a big maybe.
Yeah, he likes to cheat in big things, whereas this deck's going to be more of like the small ninjas stuff, I would imagine. But there's potential reason to play him, so... let's remove probably a swamp, since we have that Reliquary Tower.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be more blue-focused. So,
yeah.
I think the other first important card...
Sure, just like the Ghostly Flickers and... so like Ghostly Flicker... What's the name of that stratagem again? Illusory Stratagem? I think that's the name of it, at least.
Try again.
I can find it. Illusionist. Not illusory. Illusionist. I think it's just Blur with one R, but Blur's fine.
Blur's fine. I like Blur.
These are kind of our counterspells. So to speak. I imagine we'll be a little low on actual factual counterspells.
I think we can put actual factual counterspell in this deck just fine, though.
Oh, sure. Yeah, actual factual counterspell is no problem at all.
And probably a negate as well.
Negate's fine. I was wondering if we wanted to do Familiar's Ruse. Familiar's Ruse is just 2 mana counterspell, but the additional cost of returning a creature to your hand.
Oh, that sounds great in this deck.
Yeah, it's not too bad to do that, so... Oh, we must get the king of the deck, Ornithopter, in here.
And probably Ornithopter of Paradise.
sure. Why not? This is one of those decks that doesn't need a ton of mana rocks.
We'll still
wonder if there's
probably... We're still throwing in, like, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet in, right?
Soul Ring and Arcane Signet, definitely.
We can probably throw in Dimir Signet as well.
Dimir Signet, absolutely. Talisman of Dominance is where we get a little questionable.
Because it's a...
Precon, but I mean... I don't think it's...
for 30,
yeah, it's not expensive right now. It's like
32
reprint enough.
cents, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly like what we need in a precon.
Could blink Airtie, Resurrected Invincible, Shaper, Savant to get a counter spell off of your blink spells. That's true.
I do like the Airtie in here.
We want to get a couple of just like decent ETB creatures to pair with these blink effects, and then we fill out a core of ninjas.
Yeah.
Okay. Good old Baleful Strix is great here. Classic card to include in this type of deck.
Mm-hmm.
What else? So one card that I've been playing with in Standard Draft a fair bit, which always fun if you can include random draft cards from the most recent sets. I'm forgetting the name of it exactly, but it's a 1-mana... It's got Strix in the name. It's an owl that comes in, ETBs, taps a permanent. I believe it's Harrier Strix. Yes, Harrier Strix. Yep. 1 mana, ETB, tap target permanent so it can clear up a blocker. And then you have filtering mana attached to it, which seems like just okay enough for precon level.
Seems exactly like what I would expect to see out of my precon.
Exactly. Let's see. What are some other fun ETBs that we might want to do?
So, chat, me and Jason were trying to think about it earlier. What is the one big reticket, like reprint ticket that we're going here that's still sub like $20?
Yeah, we want something good, somewhere in like the $10 to $20 range. One of the cards I was thinking about that might be interesting, but I don't think it's like expensive or anything, is Thrilling Encore. Because that's a huge, like, you wiped my board, okay, well, here's the power play.
Yeah. Hullbreaker Horror is only $2.
Yeah. What if there's another one that would be kind of interesting? Not sure. Let's see. I want to think about some ETBs that are good. Do you want to do like Cloud of Fairies? There we go. And Shriek Maul? Oh, Thrilling Encore was in the last reprint, the last Dimir Precon. Cool. We found another spot for it. I think it's the only thing we're gonna get for like it's close to a mass reanimation effect.
I will say, I think that I do like the fact that we've had is it just two Dimir Precons in a row the past year?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes these decks like significantly better reprint wise.
Yeah, that is really helpful. I want some of our good ETBs to be both low mana value and high mana value.
Oh, Dark Ranger's got me covered. The cat.
So Displacer Kitten's our big ticket item, or close to big ticket item at almost $10. That works for me.
The cat's just good in this deck, right? So
cat do be good. I don't mind that at all. What's some other fun ETBs we could work with? What about Aether Channeler?
Ooh.
Hey, that zombified potato. How are you doing today? It's going pretty good. I mean, we're just starting out. This is our first deck that we're working on here. The idea here is we're playing a Satoru deck, so what we're wanting a mix of is decently costed ninjas, some medium to high costed ETB creatures to play with multiple flicker effects, some payoffs for drawing cards potentially, and otherwise it is just we're trying to shoot for the precon level of things, which is like average mana value of most precons is around 3.3 to 3.5. So we want to try to make sure that the curve is not like super low. But this is also, Demir Tempo kind of deck. It's supposed to have mediocre creatures and rely on its card draw to get there. That said, Psychosis Crawler. I was also thinking, what's the name of Chasm Skulker?
Ooh.
Because that makes island walking 1/1s when it dies, right? And it's only when it dies that it does that, though.
I can think of a couple ways of
I don't think I want to kill off my own stuff, though. I just want to build a big dumb thing and say kill it. Do what you can to answer this thing. We're precons. Now, that said, though, an interesting one then is Toothy.
Toothy.
Because Toothy's a leaves the battlefield trigger.
So you can, yeah, because I know with Pure, you just flicker Toothy a whole bunch. Draw a bajillion cards.
Yeah, there's something to be said of having both Displacer Kitten and Toothy in this deck, which is a little bit like, oh.
It's okay, it's fine. Look, the Atraxa Precon included an infinite in the deck. It's fine.
Actually,
Edgar Markov's a Precon. Like...
all right.
Remember,
Sure.
these are Precons at home.
Okay, let's get a few more interesting ETBs. Someone had previously mentioned Vincer. I think that's actually a pretty decent one.
Vincer sounds really interesting.
Do some tricky, weird things with that. What's something that's got like 6 to 7 mana value ETB effect? Okay, so this is a weird one. Oh, good old Solemn Simulacrum. Yeah, that's a good one.
Deadeye?
I'm not sure on Deadeye, but we can think on that. Deadeye is kind of interesting with ninjutsu stuff, but not sure I want to go like super deep on the flickering. So, but I do want to make sure there is something that's higher mana value within ETB that we're interested in. So, what about okay, you know that thing that is like an 8 mana demon, and if you cast it, when you put it into play, it does a living death. It's like Bringer of the Last Rites or something like that.
Yes. I don't know its name.
Bringer of the Last Gift. There you go. That feels like a good precon level card to put in this deck.
This is just solid.
Man, it's a solid board wipe. It's not amazing. This is not a deck built to abuse this ability. But it's a deck that can use the ability.
Gutty, we already know that you've made the best version of this deck. I've referenced it multiple times, and I still can't find it.
Yeah. Yes, Wolfsbane, we will absolutely be including some unblockable creatures in the deck. I think it's perfectly fine for us to put in, like, Changeling Outcast, for example. That has also been in a precon recently.
It's been in 2 precons recently.
And there's probably, like, a couple of other ones that would be fine to include as well, but I don't want to go, like, again, like...
I think we need more ninjas now.
Yes, we are at the point we definitely need ninjas, so let's get the ninjas we definitely want in here, and then we can talk about some of the other ones later. Because I do want this to be a more creature-heavy deck. Like, if we go too deep on the instants and sorceries, I am legitimately concerned about making Displacer Kitten too good. So, let's see. That's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Definitely Fallen Shinobi. That 100% goes in.
Yep, 1000% goes in. Infiltrator definitely goes in.
Yeah, Genius Infiltrator is perfectly fine. Ink Eyes. I didn't think Ink Eyes was that expensive still.
It's been reprinted in a while, that's why.
Well, it's a good deck for it then. That's another high value reprint, and that kind of fits a role for us. So I think that's fine. Ooh, Katose. You just remove single cards from people's deck, right?
Ninja of the Deep Hours definitely is going in here.
Yep. We can get Moonblade Shinobi in there. It's like a fine one, but it's like good.
I like the Ambusher here. Just as like the draft chaff.
The draft level one.
Yep.
Sure. That's fine. Okiba Gang Shinobi's cool. That's a nice little like surprise. Discard some cards, please.
Mhm.
What is this? Okay, what does this Orochi Soul Reaper do? I know it's a new card, but like, what do you actually do? Deal combat to a player, create a treasure token, and manifest the top card of that player's library.
I'm in.
Sure. All right.
I'm in.
That's a big one. Do we pass on Sakashima's student?
I think we do.
Okay. Thousand Face Shadow is good to put in.
Yep. Silent Blade Oni is like
Absolutely.
just
Yes.
the epitome of precon card.
Satoru Umezawa is some like okay mana value. Yeah, sure. Throw him in.
Might as well.
Yeah, he just works with the other stuff that's going on.
Skull Snatcher is excellent here.
Sure.
I like the Cryptomancer.
Yeah, I like Cyber Cryptomancer. That's a nice card. Let's get Prosperity Thief in here.
Yeah.
Just a ninja that cares about ninjas. We like those.
We do like those.
What is an Izumi Prowler again? Death Touch Lifelink? It's a little combat trick. One. That's not terrible, but not great. Do we have... What's the bounce spell one? We have Silent Blade Oni? Yes.
Yes.
Do we have Silver Master in here yet?
We don't. That's
Well, let's fix that.
one. That's
Easy
definitely
peasy.
a card.
Let's see.
Probably put
Do we
Nashi
go ahead and
in.
do Nashi? It's fine by me. I don't mind the little theft stuff that's going on there.
Do we want to put Looter Ninja in here? Moon Circuit?
Sure, we can. I might cut it, but...
Mhm.
Moonsnare Specialist?
Maybe.
I think that's fine. It's a little bit of an expensive bounce, but hey, it bounces things. I don't... Yeah, okay, I'm trying to remember exactly what Katose does. I'm pretty sure she just, like, exiles a thing from a graveyard, and then you could punish people for casting more of it or something like that.
Mhm.
No, you may play one of the cards that are exiled from the graveyard this way. I mean, that is an ETB.
This is so bad, though.
It is bad.
Like,
It is quite bad. You wouldn't feel great about playing it, but it's not the worst. We could do Miss Syndicate Naga, but honestly, how many ninjas do we have in here now? We're about 35 creatures as well, 20 ninjas? Yeah, we're good.
I think we're fine.
We definitely don't need more ninjas.
I
We might
don't
actually
think
trim back on some ninjas.
I was gonna say, I think we also can trim down on creatures 10 to 30.
I still want to be above 30, but I think around where we're at is fine, because like there is another like high mana cost ETB or mid mana value ETB creature I would like to get in here somewhere.
Mhm.
Something with like something impactful on an ETB. It could just be like Hostage Taker. Hostage Taker feels good. But do we have Mole Drifter in here? We don't have Mole Drifter.
I don't.
I did think about it, but I think I'm going to pass on Mole
I think
Drifter,
we're
even though it is
passing on
good.
it.
I do like it, but I want to try to get something different in here.
What are good
Okay.
sorceries for this deck?
Let's get a Slitherblade in here as well. And I think I would be content with removing Moon Circuit Hacker.
Mhm.
Yeah, that feels pretty good to me.
Yep.
Good old Ornithopter.
Dude,
God, I love it whenever you can just play a random Ornithopter in your decks.
so good.
Do we want to put any more of the cheap blink effects in here, like planar incision, or I think there's one more 2-mana blink effect. I know planar incision for sure is like an option that we can do. There's Essence Flux at 1 mana, but I don't know if we want the 1 mana version of this. Oh, Siren's Ruse. There we go. That's the 2-mana one.
Oh. Hey, food is actually here. I will go get that
Cool.
one. I will be back, chat.
Yeah. Matt will be back in just a second. I will be here to discuss.
Here, I'm still going to put it on the BRB screen.
Okay, then. Well, I'll still be chatting. Yes. Reanimate, Midnight, Feed the Swarm. I think we can probably do the Feed the Swarm. I don't think we're going to end up doing the Midnight just because, like, we'll give you all the option if you want to include them in the deck, because it's one of the nice things about precons is just they give you the options for upgrades however you want to move things around. Teferi's Time Twist. Teferi's Time Twist could be the better option if we wanted to do that over Siren Series. We can talk about that one potentially. Not sure I actually like Feed the Swarm in here, because like I'd almost rather have a bounce spell. Just something that bounces anything. And saying like I can't stop it permanently, but I can at least get it out of the way, and that's one of the weaknesses of the deck. So I think that's kind of like a fair thing to do to build in that casual game space. Just having a couple of weaknesses here and there. Teferi's Angel's Insight. Teferi's Angel's Insight is an interesting one. This is a potentially very good Teferi's Angel's Insight deck. It might be worth going for that, but one of the other balancing factors is if you play this against other precon and precon level decks, how much snowballing do you want the deck to do? That's part of the reason why I'm kind of like, another card that's really good in a lot of these decks is Grazilex, but I didn't recommend that one. Insatiable Avarice. Kindred Discovery. Y'all trying to draw too many cards here, guys. Remember, precons. Precons. We have a power level we're shooting for. I could maybe see the windfall. Well, like Get Probe, for example. No, thank you. I don't want to put Phyrexian Mana free draw in here. That's a really weird one to include in a precon, especially like this. Insatiable Avarice as well. That one's kind of maybe for me. I am not, at least our playgroup is not very big on playing tutors in general. And if I remember correctly, Insatiable Avarice is the card that has Spree to either draw 3 and lose 3 or tutor to the top of your deck, right? Let me check that one.
Hello, chat. I am back.
Welcome back. Yeah, that's exactly the card I was thinking of.
Bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
No worries about it. It's just... Trust me, we play at those power levels as well.
We consistently play at those power levels. Do not worry. It's just... For a precon, we have to think about what's going a bit too far.
Yeah. If we were going to pick one, could it be Kindred Discovery over Teferi's Angel's Insight? No, I think I would rather put the Teferi's Angel's Insight if I'm going to pick one of these. Like, I would rather have a engine or a card advantage piece that is there to enhance Satoru or is dependent on Satoru as opposed to giving you a complete alternative to playing your commander. Because we are talking about a 2-mana commander. We need punishment for if this commander gets killed. Phyrexian Arena? Sure.
It's precon card.
Yeah, it's precon, sure. That's a fine. If you want to just have a random draw engine that's sitting in play, that's fine with me. This is... You could make an argument this is another good spot for, say, black market connections, but honestly, I'd rather not black market connections here. Um, let's see, what else we want? So we have 10 more cards we can put into this deck.
Yep, and about roughly $10 worth of.
Okay. Let's try to get a couple of utility artifacts in here that are of some interest. Uh, Crystal Shard?
I like the Wayfarer's Bubble here.
Wayfarer's Bauble is excellent.
And the Crystal Shard.
Crystal Shard is a funky one. Okay. Let's get some ways of getting evasion in here, because we don't have any way of giving evasion in the deck. I want something that's, like, not super effective. Sure. Wing Boots. Yeah, that's decent. Probably want one more piece in here, right? Somebody early on had mentioned Access Tunnel.
Ooh.
Which I think is a good one to include in the deck. I personally don't care for Rogue's Passage, but we can play Rogue's Passage if Rogue's Passage is one. Mm-hmm.
Rogue's Passage
I
think, still playable.
I definitely like the Access Tunnel. The Rogue's Passage is perfectly fine. This is a deck that wants to be replaying its spells over and over, so this kind of hard punishes you for just trying to do just that.
Ooh, I like the ghost form here.
Kaya's ghost form? I mean, we're not killing our stuff, though, right?
That's true. It's still solid, though.
Yeah, it's fine. What's Rogue's class do again? Deals combat damage, exile a card from the top face down. You can play it as long as it gives you stuff exile. Nah. Indeed. Do we want to be like Archetype of Imagination deck?
Yeah, I think we already have enough evasive creatures to make our strategy.
Oh, I want something that kind of sits there and goes, answer this or the game's over. Right? Something that is that hard. Like, it's not too hard to answer it, but it is something that you need to answer. But I don't think that snowball's too hard, does it?
I don't think it does. It's
okay. It's still small creatures and like not great removal. Speaking of not great removal, Flood of Tears. That draws a card if you put Satoru back into play.
It does. It does. Is Toxic finally cheap enough to where I can just slam it in the deck? No.
No. We do need one more board wipe in here for sure. We only have 2 currently, and the 2 that we have are intentionally not great. So, let's see.
Think what would be a good one for this.
We could do something funny.
That being?
It's not Evacuation, but the other one that people play all the time, Aetherize.
Ooh, yeah, and we swing and do it.
Yeah, we can swing and bounce our own stuff. Which would just be silly. Okay, do we need another piece of mana in here? Or no? Probably not, right?
I think we could go with one more.
What about the... It's not a great... I want a 3 mana rock since they always put 1 in here. What do we think about... What's that signpost that redirects 1 creature in combat? Oh, Decanter of Endless Water? That's fine too.
Let's just put Reliquary Tower on a mana rock in here.
Yeah, sure. We have two Reliquary Tower effects in the deck. It's perfectly fine by me. Okay. Right. Then let's get a single removal spell. Do we want something like Tyrant Scorn or Infernal Grasp?
I like the Grasp here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Infernal Grasp is the better of the 2 in terms of just killing a creature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, now we get 2 lands to cut.
Oh, we do get 2 lands to cut. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's helpful. Basics.
Yeah, we have 2 more cards to add to the deck.
Okay. I was about to start messing with creatures to try to find some space for, like, one more interactive spell in here.
Nope.
I
Don't worry,
want a nice
Jason, I got you.
interactive sorcery. What's a fun interactive sorcery that we can do? Something preferably at a higher mana value.
Trying to think. This is where I'm just going to go ahead and pull up this.
The sheet and just see, what do you got for me?
What do you got for me in budget? Dread Return? Devastation Tide? I like the Devastation Tide here.
Another big bounce effect. What does From the Catacombs do again? Like it sets up a draw engine as well? Or no, that's it's got escape, that's what it is. Wait, what's the 5 mana reanimation spell that they put into I mean I know it just came out of a precon, but you know, it's the one that has suspend so you can just keep doing it every 3 turns. Black reanimation spell that does that. They put it in the Mirko precon.
Consuming Tide? Is that what it is?
That's not what this is, but Consuming Tide's not a bad card.
Charnel Serenade.
Charnel Serenade. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes. That seems like a fun one to include here.
One last card. I kind of like the Devastation Tide for cheekiness, but then we might be a little...
What about Crippling Fear, though?
Yeah, but see, here's my thing. At least with Devastation Tide, we can call it a value piece as a board wipe, because we might be a little heavy on like semi-board wipes, maybe.
I wouldn't mind just kills something. Like, just straight up kills a creature is something we're a tiny bit lacking in.
Just get a Raven Form in here, then.
What about Curtain's Call? In case you decide to play Yuriko as your commander.
Sure.
I like that.
Sure. You got it. You got me.
That seems pretty reasonable.
All right. So we got to make sure that this one stays in here, Jason.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very important.
The Myriad landscape must remain.
As much as it pains me and Jason both, it must remain.
This is the requirement. Watsy has spoken. Can you scroll down to see what our average mana value is?
Cheap.
3.3 still?
I don't think we're going to get high enough with the creatures we're playing.
No, I mean, I think that's kind of okay, because, like, again, we are supposed to be the low to the ground sort of tempo-y deck.
Yeah.
And we did intentionally put some high mana valued spells in there to try to make this a little bit easier on ourselves, you know? Okay. Oh yeah, what's the color split? How's those basic lands looking?
Slightly blue.
Like, I mean, that's
two more
fine.
Islands compared to swamps.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think we need to touch the basics, really, do we?
I think I go
down one and add one more? Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Sure. That seems fine by me.
You were talking about some other tapped lands? Like the gain land and...
Oh, yeah, we could do, what is it, Dwari Isle and Dismal Backwater.
I like this going down. One of each. What's the crime land, actually?
Oh, our desert? Soured Spring. Springs. Yeah, I like that. That's fine.
instead of the other gain land.
Sure. Just paying you for one.
Mm-hmm.
Get them.
Get them, guys.
I don't think we have any way of flickering our lands, so it's not like that's going to come up, but, you know. Okay, so how are we looking? We're at a $60 price tag on this one?
Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, we want to be in
Reasonable.
the $45 to $65 range, ideally.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Not bad to be a little bit over that, like, $50, $55 shooting range you're shooting for, because obviously when stuff gets reprinted, stuff goes down in price anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Got there. Oh, we're going to the cheapest. Help,
Oh,
it went up.
it went up. Why'd it go up?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. This
Wait.
this can't be. Yeah, this is
Alright, then.
about where I would want to be at for a precon. For like a better than most WotC decks precon.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's fine overall. Good playtester too. Let's see how we feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we feel like we have done absolutely nothing by turn 5.
Oh, this hand is not doing nothing by turn 5.
And cast our commander on turn 2.
It does. It's good enough
Another
for
thing to
me.
keep in mind.
So let's draw a card. Boom.
Lovely. Lands.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
See, here's the funny thing. I feel like you just run out Nashi on this turn, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
We didn't put a ton of evasion in the deck at the low mana values, so there is going to be some clunk here. Hello there.
Hello there.
Love that card.
We have Hostage Taker up. We have the Infiltrator here.
We're like the next turn would be a really good turn for Hostage Taker plus
Plus Infiltrator. Or no, plus...
or Hostage Taker plus the Skull Snatcher for a card draw. Because like you remove the thing that would block Satoru, and then you can flip out Satoru or something. Or well, if you get...
this is a total punt. We shouldn't play this. I should play the Access Tunnel. That way we're guaranteed to hit with Nashi.
Oh, sure. Actually, Nashi is cast... You cast the spell without paying its mana cost for Nashi, right? Because you only get one?
You pay life. Yep.
But you don't pay mana.
You do not pay mana.
Well,
I gladly
synergy.
spend 3 mana there to guarantee that we hit somebody and get their ramp spell. Because
Sure. Hit something, you get to cast whatever spell from somebody's deck paying life, and then Satoru draws you a card?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like the Nashi include more than I thought it would. That's really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Alright. We didn't include much early acceleration, but we also have a turn 2 play every turn with Satoru, so...
And we have a lot of turn 3 plays.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's going to be a lot of mana we need to spend with this deck, too, so...
Mm-hmm. Hence why I said I think we were good to keep it.
Yeah, alright. I'm content with this. I don't think we need to make any adjustments at the time, for the time being.
It's like, just look at the curve.
Yeah, chat, what do you think? Do you think we need anything in here? For example, like, we only have, what, 2 one-drop evasive creatures in the deck? We got 4 of them.
I'll say we got 4.
And we have the 0-drop in...
We have Ornithopter.
Ornithopter. Best card in the deck, I swear.
True.
Oh, that does remind me. I was thinking about whether or not this would be a deck to play for like our big ticket reprint item actually could have been... Oh, why am I blanking on the name of... Retrofitter Foundry. 1 mana artifact that you can pay... Was it 3 mana or 2 mana?
To make a Thopter.
To tap to make a servo, and then you can pay 1 mana to tap to sacrifice a servo to make a Thopter, and then you can just tap it to sacrifice a Thopter to make a 4/4 construct.
Yeah, but why do that when I can stop at Thopters?
It's just kind of a nod to Legacy Ninjas that actually plays that card. Just funny.
Yeah,
Like
I
the Ink
think
Eyes reprint, honestly, because Ink Eyes just doesn't get reprinted for some reason.
I didn't even know it was that much. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I didn't know either, but I'm glad to know there's a certain demographic that's still strong, you know?
Yep. I like the cat. I do
And then the
dislike the
cat.
cat here.
Mm. The cat is good here. It is absolutely good. And we didn't go super heavy on non-creature spells, so it's not like cat is going to be too good. There's a total of, what, 25 non-creature spells in the deck? 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, so cat's not going to be not going to be busted. It'll occasionally staple a card draw onto a spell you're casting. And something like, the Siren's Ruse may draw 2 cards.
A Derevi deck. Ooh.
Revy's neat. How high power are you trying to go with that deck?
Yeah.
Because, there's been a resurgence, a minor resurgence of Derevi and CDH because of what you can do with the One Ring, which is...
Oh yeah, because those are all triggers, aren't they?
You just draw some cards.
Those are
No?
all triggers, aren't they?
You draw a lot of cards. It's very silly what you can accomplish with that.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm cool with this. Want to move on to the
I like it.
Hinata deck now?
Oh yeah.
This one's gonna be harder to build because it's not just ninjas.
This is going to be kind of brutal. Let me get it pulled up without
The good X spells, multi-targeting X spells also have a tendency to cost more mana, or not mana. They tend to be good value. So,
But you know what's not expensive? Comet Storm.
you're right. Love to see it. Okay, so let's sample cheap mana base again.
Yep.
Give us 38 lands again as well.
Oh, and it's got Pain Lands?
Okay.
Ayo?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of down for this, not gonna lie.
Interesting challenge potentially would be to make it so that our one good reprint is actually a land. This is where the Rogran Triome is or something.
How much is that Triome now?
Still $10.
15 $14, $15?
Jeez, that would be hard to build.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Chief.
You're going for an 8, highly tuned, definitely stronger than a 7 sort of deck? Okay. Then you might want to look into doing stuff with the One Ring in your deck.
I
Even if you don't go for the CDH heavy builds for it, but just doing big value on that.
I don't know how you can possibly... Every deck is a 7. I don't know how you can possibly go above a 7.
True. Everything's a 7. Sure.
Everything is a 7.
Okay. So... let's start messing around with some of these spells then. We'll leave the mana for the moment. In fact, we may not even change it at all from here.
How much is Shatter Skull?
I have to imagine Shatter Skull's kind of expensive.
It is.
Do you want to include that as our big ticket reprint?
It's not a bad one, but
No.
I'm not sure they're
one of the other pseudo rules is to not include double-faced cards, but I've never enjoyed that rule for precons.
I like this one.
Oh yeah, March of Swirling Mist? Absolutely. That's a cool card. How we feel about... Heliod's Intervention is really good with Hinata out, but it's also just brutal with Hinata out. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's actually just backbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just one-sided wrath sort of thing. I don't know if we want to do Distortion Wave, for example, Distorting Wake, because that returns everything to hand. Ooh, Soulfire Eruption? How does Soulfire Eruption work with this deck again?
I remember it being really good. Yeah, it's really good.
Too good?
No, just fine.
Okay. Maybe okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Disorder in the Court.
Mm,
That's a cool one.
that's a fun
That's just
card.
silly. Let's just mass blink everything.
I like me a Curse of the Swine as my board wipe here.
Curse of Swine's good. Magma Opus is a perfectly fine card to include in this deck. And that's also like a not cheap reprint. Not too good, not too bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just real good. Aurelia's Fury? Just a big old burn spell that you're really only gonna hit like your opponents for a little bit, but you get to tap all their creatures in the process as well. So you're just like slowing them down, but not actually stopping them completely. Obligatory Tolerant reprint. You right.
You are correct.
I would actually go ahead. Ooh, maybe it's too good for precon level, but how do we feel about Dika?
Dika's been in a precon, right?
Yes, Dika has been in a precon, but it was not specifically a Hinata precon that's going really big. I think it's Deekah. Yeah. So the thing about Dika, though, is the Magecraft giving you a scaling token equal to the mana value of the spell you cast, and if you target every legal target, those things are just huge every time.
Sign me up.
Okay, then we might want to try to do some non-X spells, for example. Things that have a limitation on how many things they can target overall. Like Brawl's Expertise, for example. Which is still really good in this deck, because, boy, Hinata's a good deck. Is Mint too strong here? Ooh, Zafai. Zafai in this deck is a interesting one. Good old Crackle with Power.
I mean, it is cheap now.
It did get cheaper.
It's like stupid cheap now.
Yeah, it just... that does a lot of damage. That does so much damage. It's like...
Wolfsbane,
you would have to
Wolfsbane,
spend...
do not worry. Comet Storm was the first card in the deck. Let's just go ahead and get all our signets in here. We're gonna need them.
We're okay with the Crackle with Power, but boy, does it make me go...
Ooh, mass manipulation?
Mass manipulation. Yeah, good mass manipulation.
I like it.
Okay.
Schmackle.
Wait, 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schmackle. 5 times X.
Yep.
You see why I'm a little bit... Ooh, Soulfire Grandmaster. My beloved. Put that back. Give a deck for this commander, please. Actually, just make this a commander, please. Roll one of thought? Sure. We can actually roll one of thought just fine here.
I like it.
Elementalist Palette. Yes, I think Elementalist Palette is a good include here. That hits our quota for 3 mana rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Looks good.
Okay. I want to find some not X spells, but spells that have like 2 or 3 targets that cost 5-6 mana, sort of thing, for the Hinata deck. Like, I don't want to just do a ton of X in the deck, because we want to make sure at precon level that this is not like brutal to play against. We want it to be tough, but not brutal.
I still want to put Icy Blast in. I love this card.
Oh, I think Icy Blast is fine. Like, it doesn't kill a creature, it just taps them.
It just makes them so they're stunned for a turn. Ooh, Mystic Confluence or Epiphany?
Mystic Confluence. I think Mystic Confluence is probably okay, because the draw effect would... To draw every card you want to draw would cost you mana. It's a good spell, though, so it's like... maybe still a little good, but it's okay. You're playing a slightly upgraded Yuma deck and got 11,000 Scoots Worms?
That checks out.
Nice.
That checks out.
We love to see it.
Lorehold command. Ooh.
Okay. Okay, I feel you on the Lorehold command.
I like it. I like it.
And I actually was thinking about the Elminster Simulacrum here. That might be potentially too good, but I'm okay with it to a degree as well.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's 3 mana for 3 creatures. Oh, no, it's for each opponent to 1 target creature that player controls. Yeah. So
It's
3 mana
for
for
3 creatures.
And you get to pick the best of them. So in the more like Timmy precon area, that might be a little strong, but...
Still lost with the 11,000 Scoots Worms. That checks out.
Excellent.
Call the Coppercoats? That's
Like the Coppercoats, you say?
That's like a nice mopey card that would probably be in this deck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I can feel call the Coppercoats. It's pretty medium overall, but that's kind of the type of effect we do want here. And making that card 1 mana maybe makes it okay.
Yeah. Seems good.
Oh, this is interesting. Hold on. Okay. Hunted by the Family. Take a look at this one and let me know what you think.
Haunted?
Hunted.
Hunted. Okay, just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly.
So, Hunted by the Family.
Choose up to 4 target creatures you don't control. For each of them, that creature's controller faces a villainous choice. That creature becomes... You humiliate them, or you make a token copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. It's your opponent's choice. So, they can choose to just, alright, fine, I hate the choice that I have to make here, but I will turn my creature into a 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's not gone forever.
Cultural exchange.
What does cultural exchange do?
That's a really funny one.
Oh, jeez. That just seems complicated to resolve.
It's a really funny card, though.
I mean, it is funny. It's just... Hang on, let me get a larger screen to make sure I'm reading this correctly. So, I'm also going to look at the Oracle text just to make sure. So choose any number of target creatures. Choose any number of creatures target player controls. Choose the same number of targets another player controls, and then you exchange those creatures.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
That's a very funny card.
What about just actual factual switcheroo?
Why not both?
Three mana just permanently messing with your opponents a little bit, not actually killing their stuff. Maybe that's the theme of this deck. You can't kill shit. You just have to find weird ways of trying to deal with it. Yeah, sure, unexpected one fall.
I'm just going to put all the normal...
You just find weird ways to interact with your opponents and hope that they don't kill you. We're just really bad at killing things.
Huh.
Right, hold on.
You know, that is just 1 mana, isn't it?
What?
Frantic Search.
Why is it only 1 mana?
Because isn't it 3 target lands that you untap?
Let me see. I don't think it targets. I think you just untap 3 lands as part of the resolving effect.
Okay.
Yeah. You just untap up to 3 lands. Doesn't target.
Still good enough.
Yeah, it's a fine card. I don't hate it. Ooh. Niv Mizzet Perun?
I mean, yeah.
What is Dismantling Wave again? Dismantling Wave. What do you do? Oh, it's this card with cycling. So this would just be a 1 mana destroy 3 things.
Sure.
I mean, it's in a precon. That's my issue.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I don't mind having a little bit of removal, but I would much rather it be like, if we had a spell that's like 5 mana bounce 3 things, like we have with Brawl's Expertise.
There we go.
That's the type of removal I would rather see, because we don't want our players to get too frustrated with this thing. It's just annoying.
We can play Swords to Plow, though. I think that's...
Yeah, we can do like Swords to Plowshares. It's not getting... Like, that's perfectly fine. If you want to generous gift somebody as well, like, you gave them something in the process, so it's not the worst here.
Ooh, I like the Ovika.
Get the Avika in the deck. And Balmor? Yeah, I could see doing
I can see both
the Balmor as just kind of a neat way of doing some stuff there. What about random cards with Heroic on them? Like, you can play like Annex and Simead in the deck, for example. That's a super weird card to include.
Oh, Scryfall commands don't actually work here, do they? They do!
Oh, we have the power. This is a weird thought. I'm just like, what if I just target my own stuff occasionally?
I kind of like making kobolds.
Sure. I don't hate it.
And we can put our Sage Powers in the deck.
Mavinda's an interesting option. A lot of our stuff wants to target our opponent's stuff, and I think Mavinda makes it more expensive if it targets an opponent's thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can discount it. Because, yeah, Mavinda's probably interesting. That's interesting. Let's see if Mavinda works in.
Mavinda.
Mavinda.
I do like it.
Hey, you can cast an Insular Sorcerer in your graveyard. Yeah, that's cool. Collective Efforts and Collective Defiance. I might do Collective Effort.
I like the Collective Effort. I want a Dig Through Time.
Another white spell in the deck, which is something nice.
It's like
are we running all of the Talismans and the Signets, or are we just doing like 3 mana precons? Yeah, we want to try to make this as close to like a precon as possible, so we're probably not going to include any of the Talismans, although they have recently been including Talismans, so maybe 1 or 2.
I think we can actually just put all 3, because
really?
every single UB has all 3 of them. OTJ, I believe, has at least 2 per. They've been pretty good about actually just slamming Talismans in every deck.
Yeah, but also like, for example, just looking over here at the Olivia precon.
Mm-hmm.
I know this one generates treasures, so like it doesn't need as much help on the mana rocks. But they didn't even include Boros Signet in this deck. They included 1 Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Orzhov Signet, Rakdos Signet. That's the 1 to 3 mana rocks.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave all 3 of them in here,
and
then we're gonna cut 1 at the end.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Talismans. I'm still keeping all the Signets in, because there won't be enough to be in the deck.
Sure.
Are we Pyromancer's goggling?
Pyromancer's Goggles. I don't hate it. We're annoying. Maybe it's a little... maybe copying's a little too good, but we'll see.
Yeah. You choose one or the other. We're going to go ahead and put both.
Okay. How are we doing on enchantments? How are we doing on things that make our deck, like, improve what we're doing?
We have a whirlwind of thought, Jason.
Well, that's certainly great and all.
We now have a Jessica ascendancy.
No. Let's do the case.
Ooh.
What is the blue case that?
This case of
This Falcon, Ransacked Lab. Let's get Ransacked Lab in there, because we are not a deck that storms particularly well, so it is a little bit hard to actually do that.
Yep. I do just want the Jessica ascendancy in the deck because it's fun. I like having both of them.
Yeah. We can do a double vision as well if we want. I think that's probably all the big, like, augmenting enchantments we get to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that does generate a lot of value.
Is there anything else, like, creature-wise that we would want to put in?
Yeah, I would probably like to get close to, like, 15 to 18 creatures, if we can. Let's see, what are some fun ones? Radiant Scroll Wielder. Hold on. This is a card I'm not familiar with. Oh yeah, let's do Radiant Scroll Wielder. Read that one off. Radiant... Oh, well, I found it anyway.
Instant sorcery spells you control have lifelink. Ooh. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile an instant or sorcery at random from your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. If a spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. That seems quite good.
That seems very good. Like, very fun precon thing that you will not see outside of a deck like this.
I put the Iconoclast and Young Peasy in the deck. No objections, right?
No, that's fine by me. How do you feel about Heart Flame Duelist? This is another one of our instants and sorceries having lifelink cards.
Where the hell is it? There it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, and it's just a single targeted removal spell that gets discounted by 1. That's actually something we haven't put in here, is, like, slightly inefficient single targeted removal spells. Or slightly inefficient... we do have Moral's expertise in here. I like Chromhost Sea Shark. I might like Chromhost Sea Shark more than I like Dika. Because then it still requires you to invest 2 mana into getting your creature, but it also makes your creature protected.
Mm-hmm.
That's a maybe for me.
I think I can play both, honestly.
I think I'd pass on Mentor, though. Metallurgic Summonings. Yeah, Metallurgic Summonings is a good one, and it's probably worth playing, but also, I don't know, I kind of want something different.
Mm-hmm.
They need to make a commander that focuses on spells gaining you life, specifically instants and sorceries. Can I interest you in a Fire Song and Sunspeaker?
I wasn't gonna say it because they're really bad.
It's really bad. But no, that card does exist. It's just bad. The old 1,000-year storm, you say? We're kind of an inefficient storm deck, so maybe it's okay. We're also a bad arcane bombardment deck. Well, I wouldn't put arcane bombardment in. I think this is not the spot for it.
No. I think we can go with another... What's the other unexpected windfall?
I really wish I could remember. I never play those effects, so.
Big score.
Big score. Yeah, it is. Let's get Mystic Retrieval in the deck. I think that's just a good one-of to have in the deck.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got 15 creatures. Yeah, we don't really need more creatures. Did we get our Well, I mean, we're already up to $60, so I guess we already got our big reprint in there.
Hmm.
I have no idea what it is, but it's there.
Here, we can do this. I think we just have like enough $3 to $5 cards in the deck.
The expensive cards are towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Thousand Year Storm, Palette, Goggles. Huh. Yeah. Okay.
Like, we just have enough $5 cards to just.
Our commander is still only like $1, right? Even less.
Yeah. I mean, Out of Carways is currently, the premier standard land, so.
True. It's definitely the Talisman of Progress.
True!
God, it would have been so. I still can't stand how long it took for them to reprint Talisman of Progress. They snuffed it on like 4 blue-white precons in a row. Like, come on.
What are our last 2 cards on this deck?
How do we feel about? Oh wait, do we have a? No, we don't have any like actual board wipes in this deck because we don't really want actual board wipes in the deck.
No, we want targeted board wipes.
How do we feel about Return to Dust? That old card that nobody plays anymore.
Sure.
Seems okay to me.
I don't hate it.
It has a max cap on how good it is. We don't have any counter spells in this deck, do we? Malphite Intervention. Yeah, sure, you got it.
I love this card, by the way. I genuinely think that this is very playable in Commander.
Let me check. What does Meteor Storm do?
Oh, Meteor Storm. Sure.
Well, that's not in this color combination, so...
Damn.
Is it Meteor Shower you're looking for? If it blows up lands, I'm going to say no.
I like the inscription here.
X plus 1 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players. And it's a double X in the cost. But then that just makes it a bad fireball.
I'd much rather just have actual fireball. World Fire, please!
I hope. No. Get in timeout.
We get 1 more card, Jason.
1 more card, you say?
Because we get to cut a talisman.
What if that card was a land?
Oh.
I don't know what that land would be, but how would we feel about it if it was?
I kind of am okay with that.
Okay.
Kind of okay with that. It should be a blue-red land.
That's what I was thinking. What is the cost of the blue-red land that Horizon land?
Oh.
Fire Islet, right? Couple bucks?
73 cents.
Oh, it's 73. Oh, yeah, because I got reprinted there. Well, there you go. That's a nice one to include there.
Could we play all the Horizon lands we could play in this color combination?
Hi, maybe. If we wanted to, but I mean, I don't know if we...
How much is Sunbaked?
I think Sunbaked is still worth something.
It's $4, $5.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no blue-white one yet because WotC still hasn't finished that cycle.
2-drop 2/2 of all time? Gutty, what are you...
Gutters. It's not a 2-drop, though. Oh, wait, you're talking Lean and Lightscribe?
I think he's talking about the Soulfire Grandmaster.
No, I think he's talking about Lean and Lightscribe. We could play it.
We're not playing the Gutty Snipe, though. Not happening. I refuse by principle.
I would love a Lightscribe. Maybe one of these days. I don't know if that's today, though.
Let me remind myself of what this card actually does. Probably not today. I don't think we're the right.
We do have a little bit of the Go Wide theme going on, but not like a ton of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about Exalted Flamers of Zinch? Because I do notice we don't have like a lot of card advantage in the deck. That's got expensive. Hey,
that's like stupid expensive now.
well then, I tried.
What did they say? Red-white talisman is the one that we cut here?
Sure. That's the talisman of conviction at the top there, because we still have things organized by money value. Money. Yeah, $11. Okay. What's our... I dare ask, what does our mana value look like?
Okay. It's actually 4 because of the sheer amount of X spells in the deck.
Yeah.
So...
To be fair, a lot of those X spells are just like... The value of X is paid for. Like, we have paid it in full. Okay.
I like it.
Hover collective effort again for me. I'm trying to remember exactly what collective effort does. Because it's... Destroys a thing, destroys an enchantment, all one counters. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And the cost for doing it is tapping our creature?
Yeah,
it's fine by me. It's not just paying mana to increase the cost. If it was just paying 1 mana to increase the cost, I'd be less for it. If there was something that increased the cost by like 2, for example, to get there, then that's a little bit more interesting to me. Okay. Let's do a playtest of it.
This is going to be a really awkward deck to playtest.
Myriad Landscape, keep.
Because we have to get Hinata out or else our deck doesn't function.
Yeah, you're right.
That being said, I think we're playing Myriad drawing a card, and then we're playing Myriad Landscape, so you can go.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that. We're on our way to casting.
Next turn. Oh, baby.
Yeah, these 2 planes are sick.
Tapping here, sacrificing here. Going and grabbing.
2 islands.
Island.
Got here. Oh, the mass manipulation is interesting.
So
we can get Hinata down, and we could Icy Blast everything if we want to. Just to save us a turn. Begin the annoying train. Ash Barrens was in this deck. It's actually probably worth cycling for the Ash Barrens here, unless, how much mana do we need to actually do the... Oh yeah, we can't do the mass manipulation yet, but we actually we can do the mass manipulation for what, 2 targets? If we cycle to get another island. Yeah, we can mass manipulation for 2 targets if we cycle to get an island here.
Yep.
Oh no, it's only 1 target if we do it that way.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing that just yet.
Okay then.
That being said, we can definitely switcheroo.
Screw with the opponents a little bit here.
Remember, we're on the annoying train, not the...
Yes, we are on the annoying train, not the actually winning the game train. We can also just, use our Comet Storm if we want to, but, like, that's lame.
Alright, let's,
What do you want?
It's turn 5. I mean, yeah, we're just playing the annoying game. Oh!
The Soul Ring.
This hand looks like gas.
Well, you don't get anything with the turn 1 floodplain, right? So you want Shivan Reef?
Yeah, well, first off. Oh, baby!
Yo! Off to the races.
We're gaming today.
Of course, we just randomly play test and we get the Soul Ring at the Signet start. Alright.
I mean, call the Copper Coats? Probably not.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, you're probably not getting much called the copper codes here.
We're playing this for sure.
Why not just instead of doing that, why not just instead of playing the land, why not just get up the 1,000 Year Storm? Or instead of playing the Signet or the Talisman or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just do the 1,000 Year Storm. You're just like, yep, big six mana play setup. Now I can call the copper codes twice.
Ooh.
Fancy.
We can march the Swirling Mist, then call
Yeah, but you have to march a Swirling Mist first to get rid of stuff.
But see, Jason, that's why we have this thing called holding priority.
True. That's true. Okay, we can't kick it, right? Because we only have one white.
Yeah.
But we can actually play the... Which talisman is this?
Creativity.
Nope, wrong one.
Yep.
We could cycle to get a plains if we wanted to.
I think we just play the floodflame, though.
It's fine.
We just hold up interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And we punch somebody with a big old 4/4.
Okay. So, one thing I do think there is one adjustment I would like to make to this deck, which is just including a piece of card advantage. One more piece of, like, actual just draws me cards card advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be Archmage Emeritus. That's kind of the simple, boring answer, which is good.
I think that's the answer.
Yeah, I can't think of something better to play, is the issue. Because we have... Can we get Jeskai Ascendancy out? That's just filtering as opposed to actual card draw. Sphinx's Rev is cheap these days. I mean, yeah, Sphinx's Rev is cheap, but, like...
What is it actually doing?
Yeah, do we discount it? Like, it doesn't target at all, right?
No. Just you draw X cards, gain X life. It's not target player.
What's the... It's not... Is it Drown in Dreams? That if you control your commander, you can do both, where it's like target player mills X and you draw X, but like even then that's not really good. Yeah, it is Drown in Dreams at least.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough to play. I would love it if there was something that was like a double X spell drawing cards at targets.
Expansion Explosion.
Okay, yeah, I'd be cool with Expansion Explosion in this deck. Yeah, that's cool. That also gets that gets a piece of hard removal in the deck as well, which did feel a little bit lacking.
We're gonna cut the Unexpected Windfall for that.
I'm always happy to hear about cutting Unexpected Windfall.
I think Explosion's just good enough to play as is.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It is a pretty pricey spell. Just to like, if you're just gonna draw 2 cards, for example, it's gonna cost you 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that is perfectly reasonable, and it just scales up from there. Illuminate. What does Illuminate do? I am straight up unfamiliar with that card.
The hell does this do?
Oh boy, it's got a kicker. It's got a split kicker. So X spell deals X damage to target creature. If the red kicker cost was paid, deals that much to that creature's controller. If the blue was paid, you draw X cards. So you would do, let's say we lowball it and say we're dealing 1 damage, right? It would be 5 mana to deal 1 damage, draw 1 card.
I'd much rather just have 4 mana to deal 1 damage, deal 2 damage, draw 1 card.
Yeah, let me double check, because let me check the text on that one. Because I want to make sure the Oracle does not give you any additional targets. I'm pretty sure it is a single target every time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is just the 1 target. Open to Wonder. Is that the thing that like targets your creatures and gives them the... No, that is the card I was thinking about.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
With our a little bit go wide strategy that we're trying to go with.
cute big draw effect. Sure. Wants you to be set up already, and then you can do your one big draw. Okay, so what's one of the more cheeky cards that we have in here that's not too good? Oh, can we get the Heliod's Intervention out? That is just brutal.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I would rather have something that's not too powerful here, but Heliod's Intervention is just, like, too far down the other direction.
It's a bit too good.
Yeah, it's a little too much for my liking. Maybe we do. Do we want our Accelerant back in and cut one land? Get our other Talisman back in?
I think we do.
Okay, then we can cut a Plains in. Then we can get in our Talisman. Which one was it we added? Conviction?
Conviction.
Yeah, that's cool with me. Okay.
Alright.
I think that's solid.
Looks good.
It's got a whole lot of cards that are like, this is neat, or this is like solid, or this is it
really
could be
funny
better.
with Hinata.
Or it's just funny. We're just being rude to people with actual factual switcheroo and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy in terms of power level, and that is by design. Because the commander is really strong, and people have seen the strong side of this commander. Let's just see the meme side of this commander for a precon.
That makes sense. We are doing dumb things with like Dika and...
Yeah, it's not like there's not powerful things that can happen. Like Zafai comes down, like you go Hinata into Zafai, and then you go, okay, cool, here's this 10-mana spell that now costs 2 mana. Right, like let me just Soulfire Eruption. That's a 9 cost that now costs 3.
That then also scries me 1, makes a 4/4, and domes somebody for 10.
Yeah.
Seems good.
Yeah. We don't have too many spells that are going to be hitting 10 costs too frequently, but they'll still be getting close enough, and I think that's cool. Alright, I like it.
I like it.
Okay. Now, Matt, here's a question for you. I'm cool to hang out for a little bit longer. Do we want to talk about some of those Xur changes that we were planning to make soon? Can you pull up the image that we had before?
Give me a second. I might actually be able to pull up the... I'm gonna have to
The actual
BRB
scale
here.
from before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright guys, give us just a second. We're going to try to get some of the Xur stuff together, because we got a little bit of time. And we were planning on making some changes, some minor adjustments to the Xur, but we were kind of discussing about it on our Discord as opposed to talking about it on stream, so let's talk about it on stream.
Let's see, we said...
OTJ edition?
OTJ... LCI, I think we were fine with, right?
I can't think of any immediate changes, but we can talk about it. We can review it again if we want to.
Nah. Alright, chat. Xur. Woo! Okay,
For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Xur scale, this is our big power rating scale that we do for all the commanders. The goal is to view this as casual commander, and we make the assumption of you're playing 4-player commander. You are generally trying to win, not necessarily saying that you are trying to do that as quickly as possible, but you are motivated to win. And there's no big metagaming that's going on here.
Yep.
CDH is not a big consideration for these commanders because CDH it cares more about the 99 than it does about the commanders.
Except for this one.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that one.
We will talk about Stella Lee in a minute. So, yeah, those are kind of the big assumptions. And we do this every time a new set comes out. And so we're just coming back and adjusting some of the commanders now that we've gotten a month to play with them. So, let's start out with Stella Lee. Yeah, you can bump her to a 9. She has proven herself to be very, very good.
Turns out she's better than expected.
Better than I expected. I think you expected her to be about that amount, though.
Yeah, I did call her a 9 just to begin with.
So I think it is perfectly fair to bump her up. I will make that adjustment here. It's a 6.
After much thought, I think Gisa the Hellraiser just is insane, right? Did we determine that?
Yeah. I think Issa is really good. I think you can easily bump her to a 7, maybe an 8. I think 7 is a fair spot for her,
I
though.
think seven's where I'm going to put the limit at, but
Mhm.
this card on her own is just nuts.
Yeah, she does so much. And one of the things that I want to bump up on the flexibility here a little bit for her as well. Um, I was unaware of just how many artifacts you could put into play that are like 1 mana and then they tap to target somebody, and therefore that commits a crime.
Yep. All the
So,
baubles
like,
commit crimes as well.
the big one for me is Relic of Progenitus.
Yep.
Because thank you for encouraging people to play Graveyard Hate in their deck while fueling what they're doing. That is such a huge boon to these decks. It's just insane to me how much of a difference that makes. All right, I don't. Doing a bump Satoru up. I don't know if we need to.
I don't think we need to. I think he's fine at a 7.
I still think Marchesa's fine where she's at. I think.
Yep.
Okay, so there's been the CDH builds of Fractos that have been showing up, but again, this is CDH, not casual. Um, it does speak to how easy his 3-card combos are, though, if they are playing them in CDH.
Yeah.
So maybe deserves an 8.
I think I need to see
I
more of him in a casual environment.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling as well, but I can see him being a tentative. He's a tentative 8. I'm going to put that as a comment so that we're aware of it. You feel like draws should go up, but every time I've seen them go off and then pass the turn and got Wrath, so like, yeah, and that's
exactly why it's only a 4 and not a 5.
yeah, it's like it can do some cool combo stuff. And I think the big card that's come on my radar for any one of these commanders that's like for multiple casting is that Shrieking Drake is actually just really good with these cards. Like, even if you play it casually or competitively sort of thing, Shrieking Drake has gotten better. I do think that maybe bumps Geralt up, or at least I would maybe give him a secondary rating. Let me see what he's doing in EDH Rec right now, because like honestly, it really is Shrieking Drake in particular that puts it up for me. So far, I'm not seeing it. I am seeing High Tide stuff. I am seeing like Poppet Stitcher, which is a card we were already aware of that they were doing. And just to double check, he does not care about specifically.
No, he is any spell.
Yeah.
Second spell.
Any spell. Yeah, just
any spell past the second makes a guy.
So Shrieking Drake, and I guess I should just bring it up all 3 of these cards because they're kind of in the same category. Peregrine Drake, Shrieking Drake, and Cloud of Fairies are all at about 13% of decks. I do not think that is a significantly high enough difference for us to bump up the main rating, but I will go ahead and say that in a more optimized rating gets to a 5. It could even be a 6 optimized, but I think
Definitely.
I'm going to be happy to say leave it at a 4, but I'll give it a 5 on the optimized rating.
All right. Now for going down the list, I don't think any of the other 7s move. I think they're fine where they're at.
No, they all feel about right.
Jason, you played Wily Duke.
We're going to bump that down.
How far are we going down? 5? 4?
5 or a 4. I still think it's probably a 5 because I did intentionally play it at a lower power level when I played for it, but it was a commander that was absolutely spinning the wheels and not doing much. That is not my preferred play style, which is affecting my rating a little bit, but I don't want it to affect it so hard that I say, like, oh yeah, this is a terrible deck, you shouldn't play it, or this is below average just because it's not my play style. I think it is a good deck for the people who want to play it. But it kind of just ends up being an average deck because, man, it really asks a lot for you to get to like a substantial card advantage out of your commander. Sick PO version of him. Yeah, PO can do some really cool stuff with Geralt. Okay. Who's that next one?
That's Breaches.
Yeah, I think Breaches is still fine there.
Yeah.
Gitrog. Yeah, that's still probably about where Gitrog goes. There's an argument to 7 on Gitrog, but I think this is fine.
It doesn't help that they made a strictly better version of Wily Duke and Annie Flash. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
It's not strictly better.
It is strictly better.
It's 6 mana.
Yeah, but I get an extra color, and that's actually really important.
I will absolutely get to Roxanne in a minute here because I have now actually played that deck a little bit.
Yeah.
But still going down the line. There's an argument that Tai Joaquin should be a 7, but I think Tai Joaquin stays there for now.
I think
Because I personally haven't seen it.
Tai Joaquin's too weird to be a 7 right now.
Yeah, it's a little weird. This is like CEDH conversations because a lot of the random decks I hear about are CEDH ones because guess where? If people are going to report about things, it's typically in CEDH. There is a like Storm build that's okay, but again, it hasn't like put up results or anything. Yuma.
I think Yuma can stay at a 6.
Yeah, Yuma probably stays at a 6. There's an argument to moving down to a 5, even considering the like infinite combo thing that we found with them. That may not be enough to leave them at a 6, but I think that's okay. Philthip
honestly can stay there.
Yeah.
Bristly Bill can stay there.
Yeah.
Lazov is really weird. I don't actually know where to put Lazov at.
Yeah, having messed around with a build of Lazov, I think they are reasonably placed. It's like the commander is really powerful. It's just a little bit clunky.
Mm-hmm.
And you definitely feel that clunkiness.
Yeah.
Laughing Jasper Flint. I am still perfectly fine with that rating, but I do feel like having now actually played with some of the Outlaws a little bit more, I actually don't think it goes up. I'm actually thinking like the color support maybe goes down 1 notch for me, but it doesn't change the overall rating of the commander.
It's really strong. I don't know. Maybe it's just me playing it in the 99. Like this card in the 99 is kind of absurd.
When it gets to sit around, it does a lot, but it does do okay. Losing a color hurts quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the crime, like, hey, I commit a crime. My commander is my payoff, or my commander is the enabler for me to commit a crime on every turn cycle. But the payoffs for that are not very good.
Yeah,
so,
Wolfsbane, if he was Grixis, he would absolutely be significantly better.
Yeah, Grixis would have made a huge difference. Grixis even Mardu.
Double Down
Jund would be great.
Double Down is a card that we don't get to play in any of the Outlaw decks because it's not in the correct colors for Outlaws.
Speaking of which, Double Down is a card for Anawan. It's really interesting.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to reevaluate Anawan right now, but it's interesting. All right, Selvala.
She's going up 6.
Yeah, she can go up to the 6.
So I think I put it the best way after I brewed it a little bit, in that you can easily hit 0, 1, 3, 0, 0, 1, 3, and 4, because she's a 4, and that's 4 mana almost guaranteed. So
yeah, the amount of mana that you generate there is pretty good. The Mercenary obviously helps with getting that extra mana. And it is just anytime you cast a creature, you make a 1/1 that scales the powers a little bit. And if you go on these dedicated combo routes, she's really good. But most of the decks playing her were not going down this dedicated combo route. They were going down just the kind of value creature, Selesnya tokens, stompy stuff. Which is like, yeah, it's fine. There was a whole lot of decks that were playing like Torsten, or was it Torsten? I'm blanking on the name of it, but he's a 3-mana training guy who...
Torrents.
Torrents, yes. There were a lot of decks playing Torrents, for example, which is just like...
No.
That's not where we really want to be, but it's a perfectly fine card in the deck.
But if you build this as basically the old Twiddle, Selesnya, Selvala, it's the trade-off of you're not helping your opponents out, but it's not quite as fast. So...
Alright. So, going down the line again, Kambal. Yeah, that's fine there.
That's fine. Am I
Eris.
insane for wanting to put Eris up at a 6 after
Haven't played with it some more.
having played and watched it?
Uh, it's probably fine as a 6. I think it's not unreasonable to put it at a 6.
Like, the dragons just kill people.
That do be the goal.
Like, they kill
Sure.
people surprisingly quickly.
Sure. Okay. I think that is perfectly reasonable to bring up then. I don't think Glissa's changing at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think Vraska's changing.
Or, yeah, Vraska. Basically Glissa.
I don't think Vraska's changing.
Who dat? Oh, Ariette?
I don't...
If anything, down 1 point, but I think she's fine where she's at.
I think she can go down a point.
I'm not immediately convinced. I would really need to see it, because, like, her 1-for-1 removal game is on point. Truly. But yeah, I don't know about it. How are we feeling on Obeka? We kind of skipped over her, because moving that around.
Obeka is right where she belongs.
She does some really cute things.
She
can do, like, powerful things while doing cute things, but...
So clunky, though.
She is, yeah.
Like...
It's kind of like how Lind does some cool stuff, but it's just clunky curses, enchantments, which is really awkward.
Obeka at least has a lot of enchantments that do stuff in your upkeep are good.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And then you can run into what happened in our game, where it's like the Ruinous Powers refuse to cooperate.
Yeah.
All right. Any Flash. I think she stays there.
Any Flash is quite good.
Do you think she goes up? Because I think she stays where she's at.
Like I said, I think she's quite good. I don't think she goes up, but I do think that she would be on the upper end of the 5s.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You're putting her, still saying average deck, but she's good within her tier. Like, yeah.
Okay, Kellen's only going to stay here because his EDH rec page is nothing but fucking adventures. But this card is actually the real deal. It's really good.
We finally got a good Bant Adventures commander.
Like, this card is actually cracked good.
Lovely. Okay, Matt, has your opinion on Olivia changed at all? Do you still think she's better than where she's at currently?
Man, she just kills people really fast. And you just play good... The thing is, Outlaws are just good creatures.
Well, some Outlaws are good creatures. You don't need a ton of them for this deck. By comparison to Laughing Jasper Flint, who wants you to literally max out on as many Outlaws as you can get.
I maxed out on Outlaws, but you've also seen my deck list. It's all the best cards in Mardu that also happen to just be Outlaws, so...
I still kind of feel like she stays where she's at.
I think she stays...
I haven't been too impressed. Like, yeah, I've died to her, but... I didn't really feel impressed when I watched it.
It's more of a fun deck than it is a good deck, or, like, really good.
I think that dictates 5 to me, then.
Okay. Mr. Clunkman himself, Riku.
God, Riku is such a weird fucking deck.
I think
Riku.
I think if the modal spells were better, Riku could stay where he's at. But
he's in a really good color combination.
God, is this deck awkward.
Yeah, probably deserves to be a 4, not a 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that.
I actually think Felix gets to go up to a 6.
That's fine.
Like, there's just enough good on damage effects, or on combat damage effects.
Harmonicon Punchies. Turns out it's pretty good in whatever color combination you want to work with. Give me a second, let me adjust this Riku deck down a little bit. It's a little shame that he's... actually, he's okay. His support is not great. There we go. That was the problem. And we just brought up Mr. Felix.
Yep. Putting him at a 6 instead of a 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonti, I think Gonti stays right where he's at.
Gonti has impressed me a little bit, but not enough to change him. Because honestly, I was considering, initially when we did this, I think I was considering pumping. We were either considering bringing him down by 1, or we were like, it's probably a 5, we're just not 100% sure. That's still kind of where I'm at.
That was where we were at. It's a 5,
Mhm.
but we're just not sure.
Yeah, okay. Growth's not changing.
The bones
I'll
that are
be real with
tiny.
you. I'm tempted to bring Tiny Bones down 1. Like, I know people really like Tiny Bones, but
I've not seen this
just
deck be good.
no. It's
Like,
people. 1-mana commanders are powerful, generally speaking, but it's because they enable other things. You're not playing a mono black storm deck with this. You are playing a mono black theft deck,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, but my 1-mana commander will trade with a creature of theirs, and like, yeah, they'll just pick their worst creature because it's 1 power. It's not very good.
As for the next 3, I think they stay right where they're at.
Mhm.
All right, Jason, is Roxanne going to a 5 or a 6?
I think she can go to a 5.
Okay.
I think casual Roxanne can be at a 5, and that's okay. I would like to quickly check to see if Roxanne's food chain stuff is affecting her rating too much. I'm hoping it is not. And given the fact that I'm seeing like 60% playing parallel lives, I think I can already say that it's not.
I don't know. I've seen some cheeky stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, food chain 16% of decks. I do think the deck just playing fairly with tokens, doing its shenanigans. Yeah, it's still a perfectly good deck. I think it's an average deck. It's very predictable in how it's operating. I'm still impressed by Calamity, though. I like Calamity as a 4. That's a fun one.
Honest Rustine. Just solid.
Honest Rutstein.
I've seen this card more in the 99 than I have as a I haven't seen it at all as a commander. So.
Yeah.
But in the
That is
99,
the
this
thing.
card is quite good. In the decks that want it. So.
Boy. This is weird for me. So it's been very good in the 99. There's not really like the big combo loops that you get to do with them in the command zone. The 1-mana cost reduction actually is pretty useful though. Is it enough to bump it up to an average deck though?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite there.
Ox. The Ox
Still fours.
man. Still fours.
Still
Still
fours.
fours.
You're staying there, buddy. Sorry.
All
Okay.
right. Is there any 3s that we would like to bump up?
Okay, so let's talk about Magda for a second, and let's talk about Karavek.
Okay.
Because mentioning again the committing crimes thing is better than expected. That said, the goal is to get a regrowth effect out of this. It's not terrible. It's pretty okay. I think we can bump it to a 4.
I actually think it can go to a 5. It's cast, is it not? It's not just a regrowth. It's flat out a cast. Again.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's... Yes, it is actually casting it out of the graveyard. You do have to pay the full mana cost to do it. Although I'm going to say, like, you know, Vadmir that you're hovering currently, like, I don't think Vadmir improves significantly enough to make a change. Like, it's not too terrible to get him to being a scary-ish threat, but I still think it's very predictable, and he gets killed once, and you got to go set it up all again, and it costs you a lot of life until you get your life link. So, I'm still not convinced on Karavek. I did watch a video of Krim playing it on Goldfish, and like it just felt okay.
Yeah.
Like they were playing it intentionally, playing like must kill commanders. So, you know, this is a pod with things like Miram in it.
And it was okay there.
No, not really. It was in the context of if this was a lower power table, I was like, yeah, this is more okay. It's close to average, but when you're considering the upper ends of what you might need to play against, no, thank you. Did not look good to me.
So Magda, does Magda just go up?
Yes, I think Magda deserves a spot going up. So the difference here between what I like versus for this versus Karavek, Karavek requires you to have already committed things to your graveyard and still casting them. You're not reanimating them. You're able to chain off removal spells, for example, and that's pretty useful. And rebuy annoying like opposition agents and things like that. But Magda actually just accelerates you into your big spells. And also, if your big spells aren't getting you there, here's 4/4s.
Pretty good 4/4s.
Yeah, and I can't emphasize enough the difference between a 2 and a 3 mana commander.
Yeah.
Magda is online much faster. But I still view them as roughly on par commanders.
Crom, Malcolm,
I don't think either of those end up changing. I
I
wish Malcolm was better. I wish Crom was better.
Here's a commander I think gets to go up.
Eartha Joe. Yep, that was one we were a little conservative on. I think that can be an easy 4.
Yep.
Maybe even a 5, but probably stays at a 4. The activated abilities that target your own stuff. Again, the issue we run into is there's not that many good activated abilities.
Yes.
I really wish there were better activated abilities to work with. Please, my Zerda needs them. But yeah, the Tiny Bones is mad, but creeping up to Ragavan prices, yeah. Sorry, I'm slow at reading chat at times.
No. Yeah,
but,
it's insane to me that Tiny Bones is creeping up to Ragavan prices currently. I don't think this card is as good as people are trying to make it be.
But yeah, Eartha Joe being a 4 still feels fine to me. I think it's just hello Harmonicon effects,
Yep.
They can only be so bad.
Yep. All right, as for 2s, I don't think any one of these changes.
Yeah.
Because, the bear is super good in the 99.
Yeah, there's an argument that Dark Harlock maybe goes up, but honestly...
My thing is, I absolutely need either the white from Kellen or the red from Annie Flash for this to be worth considering.
Yeah, I think so. Just mana... I don't know, I'm not really that big of a fan of just mana, just reducing the cost of spells. You need to do something a little bit more for me.
Wolfsbane, we run Gisa as the value kill commander.
Good in Gigante. Yeah, I can see it being good there, because it just makes sense for it to be good there, but it's because you have your commander providing you that card advantage. If you need your commander to provide the card advantage, or it's just providing the mana advantage, you need something that gives you the card advantage, which takes away from your ability to cast cards from exile and plot cards.
Yep.
Crazy and Muldrotha? Yep, again, that makes sense. Good in the 99, but not good as a commander.
Yep.
But yeah, as Wolfsbane was saying, Wolfsbane, you absolutely have space to do both. For Gisa, as a value, just kill stuff commander, or as a mono black zombies deck, you just do both.
Yeah.
You have the space. And that's one of the things that's really, really good about her.
As it turns out, mono black zombies still really good at committing crimes.
Yeah. You just have plenty of ways. You just a couple of cards that can commit a crime every turn or every other turn to give you what is now 6/6 of stats spread across 2 bodies.
With menace.
With menace.
don't forget about the most important keyword on it.
And triggers every one of your zombie synergies.
Yep.
What more do you want from me, right?
Yeah, dude, that geese is so nuts.
That's why I'm half she maybe is an 8, but
yeah,
she's just up there. There's also an argument that loot maybe is an 8. However, I don't want to make that argument right now because mild spoilers for Modern Horizons stuff. There's quite a few cards in that deck that are already identified as potentially a huge deal for loot decks. It mainly has to do with a card type that we haven't seen in a while. So I don't want to go deep on talking about loot right now when in a month's time I'm probably going to reevaluate loot again.
Yep.
And it'll probably get
give
that
me
A, but
playable
we'll see.
battles. Give me actually playable battles that aren't named Invasion of Ikoria and
Yeah.
Invasion of Zendikar, and we can talk about loot then.
Hey, I still find it hilarious that Invasion of Kaldheim is like the best battle in that deck.
Yeah.
Because there's just 2 mana comes down, provides you a battle, an artifact, and a creature. You play loot on 3, and turn 4, you draw 3 extra cards. Like,
So it's okay.
that battle is not good, but here we are. Okay. Is there anything else we want to take a look at for the time being? Maybe any of the other tier lists we want to look at? I know somebody had asked for Don Andreas. I know we were talking about Thunder Junction. I will be honest, I don't think Don Andreas is probably changing their rating, but
No.
I can very quickly take a look at Don Andreas and see if there's anything we were missing. So, for those unfamiliar with Don Andreas, this is 1 and a Grixis for a 4/3 legendary creature, vampire pirate. Each creature you control but don't own gets +2/+2, has menace and death touch, and is a pirate in addition to its other types. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell that you don't own, you make 2 tap treasures.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we have it as an average deck, and I like somewhat question even that. But the thing of how much it wants you to steal from your opponents, and it specifically wants you to work with pirates, really. I don't think the outlaw payoffs are good enough to really go deep on them. Like, at knife point's not exactly a great card. So I don't see it going beyond being an average deck. And again, I'm kind of iffy on it being there, but I will still continue to give it the benefit of the doubt because I really haven't seen that deck much.
That's like me with a large portion of Ixalan that's not the dinosaurs.
So, okay, so Schmackle, you're asking me for a 4-card combo of a way to take a card from my opponent every turn, a Time Sieve, an Academy Manufactor, and Don Andreas in play. That is not the worst combos, but that is 4 pieces we're talking about. And, Time Sieve is not very good in the deck. And what are we doing that steals a card every turn?
B actually brings up a great point. Mishra got Esoteric Duplicator and Urza got Synthesizer, and I do think Synthesizer is quite.
The artifact creature decks have gotten better. That's definitely worth talking about, and I don't recall exactly what Esoteric Duplicator does here. Like 20 cards that steal consistently? I don't know if you pay 20 that steal consistently.
I play like 10.
Yeah, I mean, consistently? I mean, like, cards that are stealing something like every turn, every other turn, I feel like that's like 5, right? 6, maybe. Because the card quality on that, like, do we want to be playing Tasha?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like, I really don't want to play Tasha if I can help it. Yeah, but Tiny Bones is bad. We've been over this.
Oh my goodness, dude.
We've been talking about this multiple times, how Tiny Bones is not very good. And Ragavan similarly has a problem. It just gets blocked, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's a bit tough.
Oh yeah. Duplicator. Right.
Esoteric Duplicator?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, so here, can you pull that one up?
Yeah, let me.
Let's actually pull up the card we're talking about today here. Okay. So, 2 and a blue for an artifact. It's a clue.
It is a clue.
That's random, but cool.
Yep.
So whenever you sacrifice Esoteric Duplicator or another artifact, you may pay 2 mana. If you do, at the beginning of your next end step, create a copy or take a token copy of that. It's an artifact, and you can do clue text to sacrifice it, draw a card.
So
okay,
very specifically,
does not specify non-token.
Does not specify non-token, and also makes your infinite turn loop slightly easier. because you don't need the Panharmonicon, if I'm reading this
Oh,
correctly.
that's true. Okay, so now you have another option for that. Also, I mean, if we're going to talk about that combo version of Mishra, which I don't think that's particularly common, is it?
I think
Uh,
specifically that loop is pretty common.
okay.
The Gonti's
What is
Aetherheart.
what is the title on Mishra?
Enigmatic G? Imminent one. Imminent one.
Imminent one. Okay. Here, go to the card analysis on EDH, right? Let's pull up Mishra and just talk about them for a second here. So, Mishra Imminent 1 is 2 Grixis for a 5/4 legendary creature, human artificer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except for its name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature. In addition to its other types, it gains haste until end of turn, sacrifice at the beginning of the next instep. Okay. Oh yeah, all of these really help this deck. Oh, this works really well with Synthesizer as well because the copies maintain the artifact, maintain the mana value.
Yep.
Okay.
Every single
Gadgeteer
one
has
of
been a fine card.
every single one of these cards is just very good in this deck.
Yeah. The World Walker Helm is okay.
It's cute. It's still
Yeah.
good. Like
It's
paying
still
2
good.
mana to copy whatever your war form is really good.
Okay. Okay, remind me of how this infinite turn loop goes. Is this the thing with like Ugin's Nexus or
No, this is Gonti's Aetherheart.
Gaunthy's Aetherheart? Okay, yeah, that's something that a lot of people were playing in these decks.
Yeah.
Okay, how much Gaunthy's Aetherheart are we seeing today? 40%. Oh my gosh. And we just made this easier.
Yep.
Well, it's still a legendary artifact, but we changed the name of it to the thing. Ooh. Huh.
Because they both see each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd reevaluate some of the Grixis or some of the artifact commanders soon. So we already have Mishra as a 7. Oh, we got Tithing Blade as well recently. We haven't reevaluated them since Tithing Blade came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mephitic Draft, because apparently that draught is pronounced draft, and I hate that. Mephitic Draft. Reckless Handling was out when we did this, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, there is always this weird thing about the creatures you play in this deck. But
Oh, hey, the Master Multiplied wasn't out whenever we had this initially. That is actually irrelevant.
it is relevant. I don't know how much it's worth it, but even in the more casual view, like very casual builds of this, yeah, that does get a lot better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Personal Lord High Artificer creates infinite if you make a token copy of the helm.
Yes, it does. It does.
Can you scroll up again?
Because you get a map and you get the World Waker Helm every time you make a token.
Yes, but you need to tap the World Waker Helm to activate the ability, so you need a 3rd mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to actually do this, you would need 1 more mana,
you get a
and then
war
you'd be able
form.
to. Yeah, because you have to get over the hump of having only 2 of the helms in play.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to the 3rd helm, this does just net mana and goes infinite the entire time.
Yep.
The combo with Ashnod, Uncaring, and Pyre of Heroes. I'm not familiar with that specific combo. I know like generally good things you can do with it, but I don't know like what 2 creatures you're getting out of a single combo that would make it so that you win on the spot or something like that. Unless there's like a 4 that you're just going into like, I don't know, some like coercive recruiter combo or something like that. Because pirate kind of.
Wait, no, they're right. You don't even need an extra mana. because you get the war form plus a map token. That's 2 tokens that you tap for blue with the Urza, and then you tap the original to make a copy of the war form. Rinse and repeat.
Sure. So the assumption that it's also untapped. Then okay, sure. So that makes so we have another way of going infinite in this deck. That makes a lot of sense to play the Helm. The Helm's not in 2 stacks yet. Let me look at that percentage in more detail. It's a little small. Oh, it's an 85% of them playing it currently, of those who are playing it, but it's not a high percentage that are playing it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a high percentage of people who are playing it if they are playing it, but not that many new decks. There we go. Wording.
Yeah. No, this... Yeah.
Chainer, Whisper. You just do everything in the game. Okay. Yeah. So that does work. Using specifically a cleric that costs 2. I don't know how many clerics in Grixis I want to play that costs 2 mana.
That's a little rough in Grixis. I can think of one...
Like, it's not the worst. It's just... I don't know that many off the top of my head that I would want to play.
The only cleric I think of that I actively want to play in 95% of Grixis decks, it cost 4 mana.
Yeah, there's a decent number. I mean, a lot of the reanimator creatures as well are also warlocks as opposed to...
Mm-hmm. Could also be Phyrexian to do the same thing, but same issue. Yeah.
Okay, a 2-drop Phyrexian. Well... 2-drop Phyrexian.
I don't actually know that we have enough of those.
There's a decent number, because now you can work with, like, artifact creatures. Because like, we didn't really have, like, 2-drop artifact creatures that were...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still holding on to Mishra here. Okay, so I think Mishra pretty handily goes up to an 8 now. Like, I think we're starting to get into kind of hard to not break him, and people are actively trying to.
Yep.
Still costs a lot of mana to do his stuff, but like...
Wow, we're playing artifacts, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like we have an abundance of a certain resource.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, Mishra is a commander we probably should have on the channel again and try for a high power game and see what we can do. Okay, I want to see about the Ashnod thing very quickly. I just want to see what people are doing.
What's the card I'm looking for?
We're looking for, well, honestly, we're just looking for 2 mana Phyrexians or clerics. Are people actually playing those? Because, like, I see Disciple of the Vault.
That's 1.
But that's a 1 mana one, yeah, so, like...
Just Priest?
I see Whisper here, which in 28% of decks, which kind of tells me maybe they're going for it there.
Just Priest?
Yeah, I'm really not seeing any of them. I see neither Phyrexians nor clerics being played in the deck at 2 mana value.
We got 1 here, Jason. We have exactly 1. Priest of the Forgotten Gods.
Eh.
Yep, that's
a big eh for me, dog.
Yep, that's where I was at.
I don't think... Weirdly enough, I don't know if the artifacts are actually affecting this deck too much, by the way.
I don't think they are.
Esoteric Duplicator's not bad, and Legion Intruder is pretty decent.
Yeah, the Extruder's really solid here. But
Mm-hmm. And there's Crime Novelist. I do like me a Crime Novelist. But yeah, I'm actually really tempted to figure out what people are doing with this transmutation font, because that's like, if you got the sauce, I want to see it. Like, I want to see what you're doing with the transmutation font, because that's sick.
The card has been actively better than I initially gave it credit for. Wow, wait. Treasures and food are just in abundance in the game?
Going down, saying there was a 2-mana one here somewhere. I'm still not seeing it because, like, so Completed Huntmaster, for example, is a Phyrexian, but it's 3 mana. Um,
Wait, it's Pyre of Heroes? Pyre of Heroes is Pod, right? Pod shares a creature type?
yeah, that should be the card we're working with here.
So you go up 1. What are we looking for at?
The thing that we're supposed to be getting at 3 mana value is, I think it said a blue untapper, which I don't know if you're saying Murin Spy specifically, or if there's a different one, because it needs to be a cleric or a Phyrexian to make this happen. And then there's like Priest of Gix is the other card that we're getting. That's a creature that ETBs and makes 3 black mana. But I also just don't see people playing Fire of Heroes, unless I'm just missing something. I see Trading Post.
Yeah, I don't
So
see
keep in
it.
mind, there are 2,600 of this here. And the ones that are playing Pyre of Heroes, 64.
Okay, yeah, this is
Yeah,
better
there's
now.
64, and most of them are getting Artificers. They're not getting, yeah, it's almost exclusively Artificers.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm still not even seeing the, yeah, like there's Priest of Forgotten Gods, but I'm still not seeing other 2-mana clerics or Phyrexians in the deck. So yeah, I don't see them doing it. So
All right.
I don't think that's a particularly viable thing that they're doing. Or it's not necessarily even that viable. I wouldn't say that it's not viable at all, because you can do it.
Oh yeah, synthesizer.
Probably Deceiver Exarch? Yeah, that probably makes sense then. Yeah, because that's a cleric. That's a Phyrexian cleric. Okay. Transmutation Font and Tivit. Yo. That's a fun one.
Look at all these things that synthesizer just makes absolutely stupid.
Well, honestly, I don't even know how many of these get dumb.
Sahili definitely.
Prince of Krug is interesting.
Prince of Krug. This is like a deck I've been talking about with Ethan quite a bit.
Yeah, Prince of Krug is impressive. Just the number of things it can do at infinite mana combos.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not building it towards that, though, I'm not too impressed by it. But where did we have Prince of Krug before? We had it as an average deck. I think it's maybe a 6. But
there's just like there's so many buffs it's gotten since it came out.
People playing Urza Prince of Krug as their bobblehead deck. Hell yeah.
No, that was like actually something I legitimately thought about. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay,
Specifically
that's pretty
around
sick.
the intelligence bobblehead.
All right, that's cool. Activated abilities for Forensic Edge here is not that good here. Oltec Manor Weaver is not fine. Bobbleheads. I don't think we've reevaluated this since Illustrious Wonderglyph came out, which does change things a little bit. That really gave a huge bump to all these artifact creature decks.
The Matter Weaver is also really good here.
I think it's okay. I don't know how great it is, but I definitely think it's okay. Oh, actually, no. The other thing it does is make a token copy of things, right?
Yep. Target artifact
Never mind, it's
token
good.
you control.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. How to break it? How to break it in Osgir? Well, the thing about Osgir is Osgir's creature density is kind of medium. So Matter Weaver, probably not actually broken, just kind of nice is where it falls. One of those cards that's like very reasonable to play, but not so great.
Whereas in something like this, where you're actively wanting to play a bunch of artifact creatures plus things that you want to make token copies of,
yeah,
it's really good here.
I don't know if we've gotten too much other stuff since we've reevaluated I don't think we've reevaluated Urza since it got printed. So like, Unctus, I don't think Yeah, I don't think we knew about Unctus in here, which is a decent card in the deck. The Simulacrum Synthesizers, those types of blue artifacts have really made a difference here.
Thousand Moon Smithy is really, really good in this deck.
Thousand Moon Smithy is really nice.
World Record
Yeah, I think
Colors.
this deserves a bump to 6. Do we think it gets to a 7? Or do we think it's still kind of doing its fair artifact creature stompy stuff a little too much?
Man, I don't know. Because it just. Yeah, it does its fair artifact creature stompy, but like your card quality of what you're copying is so good now. You've just got so many good options to copy.
Mm. Okay. Uh, Chat, how do you feel? Slightly above? Do we consider this a bit above average or definitively, like, good?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know there's... Oh, wait, hold on. You have... seeing the Clock of Omen remind... there's the KCI. Well, it's not a high percentage, though. But KCI with Esoteric Duplicator is something to keep in mind as well. Unstable
Transmutation.
Glyph Bridge does some stuff.
Transmutation font is really, really good in this deck too.
Yeah, that does some good stuff. I mean, this deck was already one that could play...
Forge
I'm
Master.
blanking on the name of it.
Forge
What is the name of
Master.
that? Yeah, could play Ford Master. I'm trying to remember the name of the blue artifact creature, or the blue creature that does this. I don't know why I can't remember his name because he's so underappreciated in like high power commander still.
Arkham Daxon?
Yes, Arkham Daxon.
Yeah.
Like Arkham Daxon's really good in this deck too. Oh, Anvil of Becoming. Or is it Well of Becoming? Can you scroll up just a little bit? That card in the top left that is like cut. Nexus of Becoming. That was it. We're already trying to get to 6 mana.
Mm-hmm.
And this makes us now poop out 5/5s for free.
That are
and draw a card.
That are copies of relevant cards.
You can build this like a really stacksy build. You can build this as a
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have convinced myself of a 7.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I've been talking with Ethan about this one. I'm like, it just seems good now.
Yeah. Yeah. Relative to how everything else is looking for the time being, yeah, I think Urza Prince of Krug has bumped up to being a 7.
What a facelift it's gotten.
Oh hey, here's another thing. I think I am willing to bring Urza Lord Protector down by 1 point. Because previously we had Urza Lord Protector down as an 8 due to the artifact creature, like cost reduction artifact loops that you can do with this command, the combo stuff, right?
Yep.
Most decks are playing this as artifact value. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's probably a 7.
Mm-hmm.
And 97% of the decks are also just playing the Mightstone and the Weakstone because they can. It's kind of a free include.
It's just good in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good in the deck. Let's be real here.
It is. I'm seeing a little bit less of the combo stuff than I was expecting to see out of this commander.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing more of the generic value stuff. And I think the generic value stuff, for a commander whose only thing is just reducing that cost by 1 and then potentially becoming a Planeswalker, I don't think that is as good as Prince of Krug right now, who's meaningfully putting things on the board and is 3 mana? 4 mana?
4 mana.
4 mana. That's
Jason?
still pretty close.
Where do we put Tetsun at?
Not very high in the beginning.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but are we good to move Urza down by 1?
Yes. Move the Lord Protector down.
Two exhibits. Okay, okay. Good old friend Tetsun. I think I want to stop after we're done with Tetsun here.
Yeah, Tetson's going to take a little bit of talking because we completely whiffed on this one.
How did we whiff?
Didn't we put it at like a 3? Isn't it like way better than a 3? Because
No, not really.
it's just a storm deck.
I mean, are people actually playing it as a storm deck?
That's an
Because
excellent question. That is an excellent question.
Yeah, because I'm unfamiliar with the storm builds. I know of some of the combos. Hey Kelvin. You are a bit late to the party here. We will be ending after we talk about Tetsun here. We've reevaluated quite a bit of the commanders. We've done 2 precons, so you can take a look at the Satoru and Hinata decks that we built. And now we're reevaluating some of the commanders that were like, yes, OTJ has made some significant changes, and we haven't talked about these guys in almost a year for some cases. So where are we at with them currently? And now we're here at Tetsun, who is neat. I like Tetsun.
One of the weirdest decks ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got a craft with 6 artifacts, and then we can start transforming our artifacts. We didn't get any new transform artifacts since we evaluated this commander.
No.
But we just got new generically good artifacts. Not necessarily ones we want to craft with. Help me here. Am I missing something? Is there anything like new out of OTJ in particular that has changed this? Like
I'm trying to remember.
the Worldwaker Helm.
Worldwaker Helm is solid here.
Mm-hmm. It's decent. The Transmutation Font is of course good, but it is a 5-mana artifact.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at that point I would be transforming my Tetsun more than I would be activating Transmutation Font to go tutor. Just because Tetsun, when transformed, is a good engine. And this does require crafting, so it's like not insignificant.
The vault is just insane for all of these decks. Just every single artifact deck this card is bonkers for.
I think it's good. I think it's very good.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I took it apart because it was too broken, but I have no idea what it was. Yeah, I don't know what would make it so good.
I keep hearing the special sauce with Tetsun, and nobody ever explains it to me.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at look at these top combos that are in this deck. I see. Mycon's Lattice kill things. I can do that in any red deck. Mycon's Lattice Karn the Great Creator. I can do that in literally any deck.
What is the thing that we're constantly flipping to be really insane?
Breath of Fury plus Anger. I don't really think Breath of Fury combos are what gets us there, yet all the combos with Tetsun are Breath of Fury ones. So, yeah, I don't get it. What am I missing?
Well, we easily flip this.
It feels like just kind of a okay artifact creatures deck that is also really, really wanting you to play with all of these transform artifacts, and you need at least 17 or 15 to 20 of them to feel really comfortable with it. So it's and that has really high diminishing returns, because the difference between Thousand Moon Smithy and Thousand Moon Smithy, Brass's Tunnel Grinder, and Braided Net, that's a world of difference.
Mm-hmm.
And Braided Net's in 76% of these decks. Plus, a lot of these transformed artifacts are other crafts with artifact cards, so those will potentially reduce your artifact count for Tetsun.
Yeah, but are we not just making artifact creature tokens?
Yeah, that's the goal, is to just make artifact creature tokens,
and craft
which
those.
removes from your board state to make some more tokens that you can potentially craft with, to do some, because Tetsun does give you artifacts back. But I don't know. I'm really not seeing it.
I keep
And
hearing,
I
like I
do admit,
said,
I absolutely could be wrong here.
I keep hearing the special sauce about it. I just don't know what it is. I need to know. Like people need to explain to me what this card actually does.
Yeah. Because, like, I think Tetson's perfectly neat. And that is currently, as far as I'm aware, what is saving it, and also just generic artifact value, is kind of what's saving it from being a 2. Um, but it.
Might have an answer. Hold
All
up.
right, please enlighten me. Alistair, save me. Take the wheel. What are we doing with this?
The special sauces we friends we made along the way.
Thank you, Kelvin. Very
Thank you,
cool.
Kelvin.
Yeah. I really want to know what this commander is doing that is so good if we're getting so many different people like, oh, it's changing the game, we're doing something, you know? Are there any other random artifacts I'm just not thinking of? Yeah, I'm really not seeing it. See if he responds to my text. Well, Alistair, we're kind of about to head out of here,
Yeah, I was
so
about to say
I don't
I'm
know if we
about
got the time for that. We might be on
I'm
hold.
about to hit the ending screen.
But if you want to tell us in our Discord, absolutely welcome to it. Like, seriously, if there is some secret sauce on Tetsun that we are missing, I really want to know. But as far as I'm aware, this commander is going to remain as a 3 for the time being. Because I'm just not seeing it. But hey, the friends we made along the way, right?
Looks like I can't even flip.
We're still on it.
Comment on the pod. Okay, that works.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, then.
And with that, I'm out of here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you all very much for watching. We'll catch you next time. If you want to watch videos, we always got them on Saturday for our regular gameplay videos. We also do some short stuff. We've got a podcast. And, of course, you can follow us on our social medias or join us in our Discord where, we talk about the Xur scale. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.